Leaving a toxic environment, step two. So, we have already discussed step one, which is realization. Step two is agreeing with change. So, what does that mean? So, we are taking everything from step one, all the things that you've been able to assess about how you feel and what you're experiencing. And again, that is with leaving out that person's backstory or, whatever reasons that we were told or that we believe was a valid reason for why we went through whatever we went through. So we leave all of that out and we simply think about what's the experience, what is it doing to us, whether physically or mentally. And now we say, with all this together, this is not okay. This is not okay. And the difference between step one and step two is the mind change. It's the mind change of it's not just saying this wasn't good for me. This is now saying, all right, now because I understand that this is not good for me, and also in the long run, it really is just going to get worse. This propels you to now go forward with your escape plan, basically. So a lot of people stop at step one. So I presented step one to you, and honestly, some of the things that I laid out there, or if there were additional things on top of what I mentioned that you are experiencing, you probably already knew that stuff. You probably already know that that person that you're with, or the organization that you're a part of, the institution that you're a part of, that it's not good. You probably already established that. And probably the difference between step one as I laid it out versus just your general knowledge might be just the amount of time that you're sitting down to process all of this. But And so a lot of people, instead of bringing themselves where they agree with change to the point that they're willing to do some practical things to change their environment, they instead say, well, this is not really a favorable situation, but they spend time trying to keep it. They want to keep it and figure out, okay, well, what can I do in the long run? And so you kind of put together a makeshift plan so that this can still work, so that this system can still function for you, but it's not. It's malfunctioning. And that's the problem. And so, in other words, step two is saying, okay, I recognize what's going on. Now, what am I going to do about it? What meaningful steps or practicals am I going to implement now? What am I going to put in place to change everything I'm experiencing? Because if this continues, it's not going to be good for me. And not good is an understatement, but I really don't know how else to express it. You know what I mean? And again, if this has gone long enough, it will impact your body. And so if you acquire health problems, like imagine you staying involved in something so long that, God forbid, you're unalived just because of that. It really can get that bad. Like, y'all think I'm joking. Do y'all know that stress does really, really crazy things to the body? Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not no sort of biologist I'm not a medical professional. But what I can tell you as someone who's not a medical professional is that stress has many ways of affecting the body, and I'm not even sure if you can pick it. I don't think you can choose what stress would produce in you. We can't. It kind of feel like the stress lottery just gonna give you something. I mean, again, a medical professional might know that if you're under stress, they might possibly be able to figure out what most likely would come from that, what would express itself in your body. But this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing these videos. Not only because this is stuff that I learned that really helped me, and I also just am passionate about helping people, but like, I really want whoever is viewing this, I really want you to take this seriously. If this resonates with you, if this series resonates with you, really take it that seriously. Really take it that seriously. Okay, so I'm sorry, I kind of got lost into all of that because I was like, I need you to understand. But yeah, so we say, I recognize and I understand what's happening. Okay, what's next? And I would say out of all the steps, this is where your step 0 will come into play the most. So I mentioned that step 0 is about identifying the excuses that you made to make you stay in your situation, and that once you identify it, it's about actively fighting off those things and saying, no, that's not going to hold me back. So step 0 and step 2 partner super closely together out of all the steps. Again, step 0 is something you need to keep at the forefront of your mind throughout this whole process, because this isn't easy. We're talking about attachments here. So, imagine like, adhesive, something that has been glued together for a very long time, and it's a strong glue. It's like a super glue. It's like, it could be like Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue. It could, just like a very, very strong adhesive, and you're trying to, if it's a strong adhesive and it's been stuck for some time, right? Because I really, truly believe that probably many of you that will stumble upon this video, that you have been dealing with stuff not just for a short amount of time, but most likely years. So imagine something being stuck for years. And so that's why throughout this whole process, step 0 is going to be that thing that where you push through. It doesn't matter. I gotta go. I've seen too much. I've seen enough. I gotta go. So that those two partner together a lot there. So there's not too much to say on this point that I wanted to put in. I think that I got everything in there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can say in regards to step 2. But yes, just to wrap up, the biggest thing about step 2 is that if you agree, don't just agree with your mouth. Agree in action. Because a lot of people can be told. You ever talk to somebody and they're just like, you want to give them advice about something, and you're just like, man, yeah, you really got to do da da da, and they're just like, yeah, I know. You ever get the I know person? Don't be the I know person. If you know, what you gonna do about it, right? What are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? So that's what step 2 produces. The something has got to be different now. I'm ready to do that different thing. So this is step 2. Any comments you have, anything you have even to add, I'm open for questions in the comments. I think some people have also emailed me, so thank you so much for even some thank you emails that I've gotten as of late. And I will make sure to respond to everybody. So I'm super glad that this helps you. Keep going throughout this series. We've got a few more steps to go through. Feel free to go on my Linktree if you want to reach out and connect, or any of the things that I've got going on. I know that I am starting my Uprise University, the first cohort, I guess you could say, for my new course, which talks about this stuff and even more. So if you want to get involved in that, go ahead. You can find that in the description. So yeah, reach out to me, ask me questions. If you even want a one-on-one, I'm open to anything, y'all. I'm just out here to help. So that's why I make these videos. That's why I come up with these programs and I design them, because I'm passionate about them and I want to see not just myself, but other people get free. So I'll see you on the next video. Thank you all so much. And yeah, we're going to keep rocking. See you soon.